Okay, welcome back. I'm to the end of my first color. I did 5 rows of magenta and I'm doing my last stitch, and that's to double crochet into the top of the turning chain. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and double crochet, but then I'm going to pull that loop up. Try not to get this top of your double crochet real tight. Just draw your loop up. And 2 or 3 inches, cut your yarn below the stitch, and then pull the tail out through. Do not pull this tight because you can put your hook back in that loop. Okay, I changed my mind. I didn't like the brown next to the magenta, so orange is going to be my next color. So I need to pull that end out and pull this. Okay, now it's gotten dark outside since my last video, so the colors might look a little different to you. The lighting is different, but we're just going to go ahead and do this anyway. So you insert your hook back through the top 2 loops of that double crochet you just finished, like this. So this is how you change colors. And if you're working on a project where you change colors in the middle of the row, this is how you do it, okay? Then you hook, leave a little bit of a tail, about 3-4 inches, and hook it onto your crochet hook and draw that through those 2 loops, like so. Okay, now I'm going to weave in my tail as I go, so I'm going to yarn over with the tail over the top of my hook, then yarn over and chain 1. Then I'm going to chain 2, flip that yarn back over. That's the 3rd chain. Now I'm going to turn my work, and then I'm going to continue my stitch pattern as usual. I do have a video on how to draw the tail in as you go. Now for this magenta, I'm just going to let that hang behind the work, and I'll draw that in with the needle later. So I'm going to yarn over my hook with both the tail and the working yarn and go underneath, draw up, and double crochet. So that tail is woven down through your double crochet doing it that way. Then I'm just going to crochet over the tail for the next 2 stitches. I'm only going to do half my double, and then I'm going to take that tail and bring it over the top and then finish my double crochet. Then bring the yarn back across again to chain 1. Now the next one, I'm going to take my yarn and hold it down like this. Scoop my hook underneath the tail and my working yarn to yarn over, draw up a loop, and then complete my double crochet. So now my tail goes from here up through the chain, down through the stitch, up through the stitch, across through the chain, down through the first stitch, and then I'm going to crochet over the tail again. And that's my drawn in as I go, hiding my tail. So that'll be less tails to draw in later. And then that little piece that's left, I'm just going to snip that off. Discard it. And then you continue your pattern. And remembering to make an extra shell on your beginning and ending slope of your row. In the beginning of a yarn, sometimes it's a little tight, so you gotta pull out a few yards at a time. Okay. So I have 3 groups. Now I'll do my corner or my peak. And I'm going to go ahead and do 5 rows of the next color. With my Afghan, it's going to be orange. You can do 1 row, you can do 2 rows, you can do any number of rows of whatever color you want to do. Do your own pattern of, you know, color order and that sort of thing. That's what I do. My last one, if you look at the pictures on my website, that's different from other granny ripples that I've done. Just change the color order and how many rows of each color, and you come up with a whole new look for your same pattern. Okay, so anyway, go ahead and complete whatever number of rows of that the next color that you're doing, and I'll come back and I'll review the changing the color of your yarn again at the end of that row and work a few stitches with you, because this is a crochet along, so each stripe I'm going to come up with a new video, and then when we're at the end we'll do the edging together as a tutorial. So I'm going to close this video down, and we will pick up when I change. I think my next color is going to be yellow, red, orange, yellow, and then I'm going to do the brown, and then the variegated. I think the darker color next to the variegated will make it go pop, so make the colors look brighter and stand out. It might get lost if I put the variegated next to the yellow. So I will see you in the next video. By then I will have 10 rows done. Hopefully you will too. Happy crocheting.